Ooh, that looks tasty. Welcome folks, Today the Hungry Gamer is back with another mini review, and today we are talking about Horizon Zero Dawn. And this is one that I actually played through a lot of the video game and really enjoyed it. I didn't actually finish it because it accidentally got deleted, my save. But it was a cool game, and I was excited to kind of try this one out. And unfortunately, my own video content of the rules overview got corrupted, but Barrett from Meet Me at the Table is nice enough to let me borrow his playthrough so you can kind of see kind of what's going on. But this is a game where you're going to be playing one of a variety of different hunters. And your hunters are going to be going out and you're going to be hunting these kind of mechanical beasts that are roaming around and taking parts of them so you can upgrade yourself. And what's going to happen is each game is going to be played over a series of different hunts. And it'll start out kind of simpler and easy where you're just kind of hunting the smaller things. And then at the end, you're going to fight something relatively big. And as you go through each one, you're going to be able to upgrade your cards and so on with a little bit of deck building that you're doing as you're getting slightly better abilities and you're getting better ammunition and stuff for your weapons. But the core of each game is what's going to happen is there's going to be these beasts out on the board and they have a path that they're going to follow. And once they walk off the board, they're off the board, that's it, you're too late. And each of the hunters, and I should say you can play this competitively, which is kind of a semi-co-op where you're just getting more glory points for hunting these things down. Whoever gets the most glory points is going to be the one who's winning. Or you can play it as a solo co-op, in which case you don't worry about the glory points, you're just trying to hunt these things down. And you're going to be moving, and just like in the video game, you're going to try to avoid getting seen. Each of the different beasts, they have their range that they can see things and their different AI, what they're going to do. So you can maybe hide in the tall grass and then kind of jump out and attack them. You can attack them from range, you can attack them with something that is melee. And for each of those weapons that you have, you're going to have different ammunition cards that you can get or different ability cards you can get to play on each of them. And as you do your attacks, you're going to get certain levels of dice that you can roll, and you're going to roll those and you're hit, you'll miss, whatever. And if you're lucky, you take it down. If you're not lucky, you don't, and it's going to come back and attack you, and then you're going to have to use your defense to try to roll and mitigate whatever damage that they're going to do. All pretty standard stuff. But what I do want to specifically point out is you have the ability, just like in the video game, to target components on these beasts. And so you can target a certain spot and maybe break it off, which might reduce their defense permanently, or it might take away one of their attacks, or whatever it is. And so that is also something there, kind of a little strategy that you have. And you're going to play through a series of hunts, and you're going to wind up facing off with something bigger at the end of the game. So, what do I like about this game? The first thing is, I really do like the kind of the stealthness of it. I like the way that if you plan this out right, you can jump out, hit something, take it down, and be hidden again without anything being the wiser. And to me, that is kind of the core of this game, is making that plan so if you roll well enough, you're going to be okay. Because you're actually kind of squishy, and it's not too hard for you to get beaten down and killed if you somehow get swarmed. And so all of that I think works really well. I like that you can kind of see the patterns that the beasts are going to walk, and so you can have those conversations. You can plan these things out because you know what's going to happen. You even know what their AI is. For the most part, there are some that have multiple cards, but you know what their AI is, so you know what's going to happen, and it's really on you to make the best plan to survive and move on and then get better gear and things like that. I like the way the card play works, and along with the limited amount of deck building that you're doing. I like that your cards are also your life. So you're using cards, and if you're getting hurt, you're discarding cards. And so you kind of have this balance of making sure you're not spending too many of your cards, because that is also your life. I think that works really, really well. And all around, it's got some dice chucking goodness, which is a good time. So all of that I enjoy, and I think it does a decent job of grabbing kind of the theme of the world of the game. You don't feel like you're playing the game because there's a very specific narrative and story in the game, but it does grab the theme of the world, which I do appreciate as well. Along with that, the miniatures are great. They look fantastic. Now, what are my quibbles with the game? Well, the first one is you got to get some expansions, because there's stuff that's in the base box that, as near as I can tell, there's no use for it, or very, very little use for it, if you don't have some of the expansions. some of the hunter's abilities, they aren't useful because they prevent certain status effects from taking place, but for the most part, nothing's putting those status effects on you, so why would you bother using it? While the core game you can certainly is fun, you can certainly play it, it does have a little bit of a lack of variety in there. There's only a few types of beasts in there, and once you're done hunting those, that's it. So you're going to want to get some of these other expansions. Now, speaking of the expansions, I will say they are really cool. I have two of them that are just big new kind of in-game beasts that you can hunt. And when I say big new in-game beasts, I mean big new in-game beast. This is the Thunderjaw. I also have the Stormbird. And these things, I mean, they come apart. Like, you got to put these things together. They don't even fit in the box. So I'm not quite sure how that'll work if you want to paint it. I guess you just put it out somewhere. But you can see this thing, like, it's got a lot of crazy cool detail on it, and I definitely think that's cool. And it comes with new maps and new things, and it's just definitely harder, and it is fun to play, but you have to have it. And this whole box right here is just that one mini, and some new cards that come with it, and some new tiles and stuff to play on, but it's a whole thing just for one boss. So there's a lot going in here to really get the full experience of the game. You really kind of have to dive in. You got to sink a little more money than you might think you need to really have a significantly replayable experience. And then the other thing I'll point out is this is not often you think of this kind of game with the big miniatures and dice chucking. You're just running in, you're fighting, you're combat, you're killing, and that's not this game. This is a seriously planning style game. It's more stealth than it is combat in many, many ways. Again, like I said, you jump in, you make your hit, and you get out. And while that's very, very fun, just make sure that you understand that is what is going on. Because there were certainly times when I was playing the video game, I was like, I'm just going to run around and just kill stuff. And I was running around and start shooting things and fighting things, and you can do that. But not really the point of this game necessarily is that it's really a lot about planning. But there you have it, folks. That is Horizon Zero Dawn. It's a pretty cool game, and I think if you like the world from the game and you're willing to throw down for an expansion or two, then this could be a game that you really enjoy playing. I don't know that it has all the legs in the world with just the base box, but it certainly is a fun, diverting experience for several games with just that. So, there you have it, folks. As always, if you found this video useful, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.